Hi guys, and welcome back to some more Sherlock Holmes Crimes and Punishments. So when we left off, we'd done the autopsy, right? So we still have quite a bit to do. Let's see the character portrait. Albert Dunn is a nervous and anxious young man, clearly evident by his bitten fingernails. He uses a quantity of detergent with which to clean his hands, which is a poor decision seeing as he handles plants and soil. His eyes are red, he has been weeping very recently. His age tells us that he is still at university. He is good looking, unmarried, and probably still lives with his mother. Interesting. Wow, I'm not long awake. Like, I've brushed my teeth, grabbed a drink, and I can still hear the tiredness in my voice right now, so I apologise about that. Where am I going? I've done the autopsy. I suppose I'm going back to question people, so I can do that through here. For some reason I was going the long way. We'll go to Kew Gardens. Because we've done, like, the various book investigations and stuff, I think. And I'm absolutely hungry as well. Hopefully I'll be able to get a decent recording out of this anyway. Instead of, like, focusing on my hunger, like, no! Why did I have to record as soon as I woke up? I don't think we've any deductions we can make just now. Oh, maybe we do. Deadly plant stolen, Dunn was trapped. Poisoning. Well, we can link the poisoning to Dunn was trapped. So after being trapped in the colonial collection room by the killer... Is it Montague? My mind is blank. Dunn was affected by inhaling a virulent vegetable poison. I don't know English. I'm terrible at English. I think you guys know this by now about me. I would assume so anyway. Okay, so we'll talk to people. Wait, where am I going? We'll talk to this guy. Martin Hamish. Okay, whoa, we've got quite a few questions. So tell us about the emptied colonial room.
Mr. Hamish, can you explain to us what happened to the colonial collection? It seems somewhat depleted.
Most likely maintenance work, tidying up.
You're not sure, then? But you're the deputy director.
Well, I am busy. I cannot be everywhere at once.
Damn, he's a bit defensive. Tell us about your relationship with Dunn.
As deputy director, how was your relationship with Montague Dunn?
To be honest with you, Mr. Holmes, it could have been better. You see, every Tuesday he would carry out his inspection of the gardens, but it was solely to make an impression. Great pretense that he cared at all. He would give out absurd orders, ignoring anyone else's opinion. He would then disappear for the rest of the week. He was what some might call a man of action. I'd say rather he was overzealous and chaotic. So after all, it was no wonder, perhaps, that he ended up like that, if you take into consideration his kind of lifestyle.
Okay, what do you mean about his lifestyle?
You mentioned that Mr. Dunn led a particular lifestyle.
Well, it's no secret that he enjoyed, celebrating, shall we say. He was a member of the London Smart Set. He was famous for it. That
And?
He had an eye for the ladies, to put it mildly, Mr. Holmes.
Okay, well that's not a bad thing. Keys, what about them? What are they for? I don't know what this question is going to be specifically about.
Mr. Hamish, can you tell us who holds the keys to the locked greenhouses?
That would be Albert, Mr. Dunn's son. Yes, Albert keeps all the keys, and one can only imagine why.
What do you mean?
Well, he was never interested in Kew Gardens before, and now all of a sudden he is trying to act as if he owns the place. I think he wants to take over the management here. He'd do better to leave that to me. He has no experience. No, none at all.
Albert Dunn, yeah. Question.
What is your opinion of Albert as a student of botany?
He's useless. I often tell him so, and I can only give him cleaning tasks. Botany is not his life's work, and his father well knew it. He was furious about it.
He was?
Oh, yes. He forced his son to work here, and he never missed an opportunity to criticize him publicly.
Are you able to elaborate on that?
Well, For example, with our last exhibition here, Mr. Dunn had Albert make a presentation speech. But then, while the lad was speaking, Mr. Dunn interrupted him, asking him difficult questions, making him look like a failure. It was with the intention of making a fool of him, Mr. Holmes.
That must have been terribly humiliating.
Yes, he was crushed, and he had to leave. Everybody was making fun of poor Albert.
Aww.
That is, except for Miss Margaret White, who is such a nice lady and who always takes pity on Albert.
Tell us more about Margaret White.
You mentioned a Miss White. Would you tell us more about her?
She is a student who works here part-time. She is quite charming indeed. She possesses a great talent for botany. You should take a look at some of her experiments that she carried out in the laboratory. Ah, if only she were not so naive.
Why naive?
The way she used to flutter around Mr. Montague Dunn. And he couldn't help but be flattered by all her attention. How could an intelligent woman such as Miss White not see through his game? I can only scratch my head and wonder.
Oh, excuse me, I cannot stop yawning. So why have we not met this, oh my god, that's why I should investigate and tired. Margaret person?
Tell me, Mr. Hamish, do you grow the more deadly variety of plant here?
You mean insectivorous? Yes, but nothing larger than that.
Tell us about the Divine Syndicate.
Are you aware of the Divine Syndicate?
The Divine what? Is this a joke?
No, I am quite serious.
What a ridiculous name. Anyway, I have never heard of this syndicate.
Not sure if I believe you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Hamish. We shall continue our investigation.
Okay, we carry out a rapid inspection of Kew Gardens. His employees, Mr. Hamish in particular, did not look forward to this routine. Okay, where's the sun? Is he through this way? Oh, apparently so. Tell us about Miss White.
Who is Miss Margaret White?
Ah, she is the young lady who studies with me. She visits here sometimes to help out with the greenhouses. In fact, she should be here today. She wanted to work at the seed house. That's the small greenhouse across from the large glass house.
Okay, so she's in the seed house. Okay, tell us about why the colonial collection was emptied, or do you know anything about it, or whatever Holmes is about to ask you.
We noticed that a part of the colonial collection has been cleared.
Ah, at the moment I'm just dealing with the storage room. I don't know much about the other rooms.
Tell us about the relationship with your father.
I imagine that your relationship with your father may have been a strained one.
Yes. I cannot say that he was a kind man, for he never listened to me at all. He forced me to work here. But now, after his death, I've been pondering it over. Perhaps he wasn't so wrong about me after all. I have to follow his path, and I have to manage Kew Gardens, and I can do it. I can be as good as any other who works here.
You have to? Tell us about Martin Hamish.
Would you please tell us about Martin Hamish, the Deputy Director?
Well, I have to tell you that Mr. Hamish is not and has never been the Deputy Director of Kew Gardens. My father would not have tolerated it.
Indeed? Well, that is most interesting. He told us that he was.
Yes, because he believes that the management should be passed down to him now that my father is dead. But in actual fact, Mr. Hamish only has the honour of being the garden's longest-serving employee. In fact, if we are to think logically at all, it should be me who takes over the management of Kew Gardens.
Do you not have a good relationship with Mr. Hamish?
I suppose so. But we have very little in common. Mr. Hamish loves his plants and Kew Gardens, and I cannot say that I share his passion.
I see. And how was his relationship with your father?
Oh, he hated my father. It was obvious. He would be furious whenever my father boasted of Kew Gardens in the newspapers or at conferences. He was convinced that my father was stealing all of the credit for himself. That my father treated Mr. Hamish in the same way as he treated anyone. Dismissively. With indifference.
Do you know anything about the Divine Syndicate?
Tell me, have you ever heard of the Divine Syndicate?
No, I cannot say that I have.
Door keys, what about them? How do they work? Who knows?
Do you hold the keys to all of these locked doors?
Yes, you can have them. But I cannot give you the keys to the cloakroom. The employees' effects are private. I am sure you understand.
Oh,
Thank
noted.
you, young man. We shall see you again soon.
I'm yawning again. I really have to apologise just for how tired I am right now. Albert's ambition could be related to poisoning? No. Oh, but the poison's related to the deadly plants stolen. I should have known that. So it could be theft and murder. The killers may be those who stole the exotic plants, including the deadly species from the last exhibition at Kew Gardens. And then with nothing else popping up just now. So, okay. At least we can now investigate those other rooms, other buildings. Rooms, buildings, potato. Can't walk across the grass. Of course we can't, Annalise. Of course we can't, Holmes.
Locked.
That's why we opened it, Holmes. Oh, a nice portrait. Oh, champagne.
French wine. A remarkable vintage. French
Oh.
wine. A remarkable vintage.
We looked at that one already.
Champagne. Montague Dunn had good taste.
Yeah. Okay. No, I was like, where's Watson? Director's desk. My dearest Margaret, following our last conversation, I believe it might be better if you vacate your position here at Kew Gardens. As you pointed out quite bluntly, you are no longer in need of my support. You're quite able to stand up for yourself in this world, as you say, while I give you back your freedom and wish you nothing but good luck. Okay, what is this for again? Find a use for the fragment from a statue. Okay. We've also got another clue there. White's expulsion. So, Montague Dunn wanted to fire Miss White. It's not related to anything though. Is there anything else on this desk?
Newspapers discussing Kew Gardens.
The Times, new plant species. The Kew Gardens team are pleased to announce the successful production of a new variety of barley. One that retains a complete resistance to the cold. They have named it the Siberian barley. Don't make a pun, Annalise, don't make a pun, just continue reading. Mr. Martin Hamish, the proud cultivator of the graft, will hold a press conference next Monday morning upon this very subject. I so wanted to make a pun there, but I was like, no, it's not going to work.
A photograph of Montague Dunn and Reynold Hamish.
Okay, we've got a safe. Oh, okay. What am I doing? I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, that wasn't right. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then go back. Huh? Okay, that wasn't right. Oh my god. No! I'm terrible at stuff like this. Okay. Back to start. 1, 2, and then 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3, and then, okay. I'm scared now. Did it again? Okay. Oh my god, what if I go all the way back here and it's not again though? It's not this way. No! Okay, I'm skipping it. No, I'm not skipping it. I might skip it. But I know how it's done, so 2 over here. 1, 2, and then it's 3. 1, 2, 3. And then back over here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, maybe not. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Shit, I can't remember. Was it again? No. 1, 2, then back. If I fail it again, that's when I'm skipping it. 1, 2, 3. Then all the way back over here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. But I feel like this isn't right when I turn it back over here, isn't it? Okay, I'm skipping. I'll never know. Director's safe. Mr. Dunn, we must ask you for the last time for the return of our dear sisters. You do not have any right to hold them imprisoned. They do not belong to you. Your so-called permissions are wholly false. You are hiding behind lies. The lie, we need not elaborate, that was reported in the press as the case of June 14, 1889. What you have done is quite abhorrent. Be very sure that we shall never abandon our family members. We trusted you and regret having done so. The Divine Syndicate. My dear friend, please allow me to express my disappointment upon reading your last letter. I am paying you to defend me, not to accuse me. Kew Gardens is a royal institution. We are granted a great opportunity to travel the world and to save the most extraordinarily precious and rare species of plant. Our duty is to protect such species, and from those who might wish to use them for dubious purpose. This Divine Syndicate of whom you speak have no right to hold such precious plants. Remember the case of June 14, 1889, so I assume we need to go back to ours and look that up. So I must respectfully ask you once again to notarise the permissions on these plants on behalf of Kew Gardens. The documents were sent to you on Monday. P.S. See you in Biddles on Tuesday, as always. Montague Dunn.
I suggest that we don't tell Miss Margaret White about this document.
Which one? Debt of Miss Margaret White to Mr. Montague Dunn, rental of a suite of rooms at Oxford Street, an educational scholarship at the London University, credits opened at Hamilton, Radigan House Tailors and at Baird & Sons Luxury Jewellers. Okay. Interesting. So we've got the money that Montague Dunn regularly gave to Miss White far exceeded the needs of a student, and he was going to, expel her or whatever. So they had a disagreement. Yeah, this isn't related to anything. So we'll go back. And I think we'll head to Baker Street and look up that case before we talk to Miss White. Got all the little tabs sticking out his book. So organised, Holmes. So organised. Continue. But this is where I'm going to wrap up this part here because I need to eat. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you all have an amazing day and I love you all. Bye.